What religions can I name? I guess like Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Muslim, Buddhism.
The Orthodox communities, Greek, Russian, Serbian, so on.
Taoism.
Roman Catholic, English Catholic, Anglican, Lutheran, Calvinist, Reformed Church.
Actually, I'm not interested in any religion.
Just primal religions.
Jainism, Sikh,
Scientologists.
maybe evangelical.
Atheists, pantheism.
Presbyterian.
I think I failed.
It's very easy to get overwhelmed. There are so many religions and belief systems out there. For some, these beliefs are deeply held and are a major part of their lives. What you believe is right for you, and whether you believe in one God, many gods, or none of the above, your perspective, your values, your code of behavior affects all of us. We share the same planet. We interact continuously. It's really important to learn about each other's beliefs. There are a lot of similarities as well as differences. And actually, the differences help enrich our lives. Even though religions vary a lot, there are certain things they all have in common. Religions offer a way to rejoice and give thanks. They provide comfort, a community, a moral code, traditions, and they all give to the needy. Also, every religion has a golden rule. They may say it different ways, but basically it's treat others the way you want to be treated. And of course, all religions believe in a supreme power. It might be one God, which is called monotheism, or it might be many gods, which is polytheism, or maybe it's spirits, or ghosts, or goddesses, or nature. The first evidence of religion dates back to over 500,000 years ago in China. Scientists have learned how religions developed by studying the remains and the artwork of early humans on every continent. There have been thousands of religions and philosophies over time. Let's take a look at some current numbers. Out of the approximately 6.5 billion people in the world, more than 5 billion are in a religion. There are 2 billion Christians, making it the largest religion. Islam follows with 1.3 billion. Next are Hindus with 900 million. Those who say they are non-religious total 780 million. Buddhism has 360 million followers. Let's look at the United States. Our U.S. population is over 287 million. Protestants and Catholics, both Christian, make up the largest religious groups, totaling over 160 million. They're followed by Muslims and Jews with 6 million each. Whatever your belief is, it's represented somewhere on this chart. All these numbers are correct today, but the numbers change over time. In this program, we can give you only a glimpse into a few belief systems. The students you'll see are expressing their viewpoints. Some of this will be familiar. Some of it will be new. We'll begin with Judaism. It was founded over 4,000 years ago by Abraham in what is today Iraq. Judaism was named for Abraham's great-grandson, Yehuda, or Judah, which is Hebrew for the praised.
When you are bar mitzvah or bar mitzvah, which basically means son of the commandment, so it's the first time that you're called up to the Torah to be able to read. So it's traditional that you have your grandparents pass it to your parents, and then your parents pass it to you, and it's just passing down all the knowledge and everything that's in the Torah, and finally being brought into Judaism and considered an adult and being able to learn and read at the same level as the rest of your community. Everything that tells us to be Jews and everything to follow, all the commandments or mitzvot, all 613 of them, all the laws and everything written is all in the Torah.
When we take it out of the ark, we all stand up and we start to sing certain songs. And one of them we sing is Al Shlosha Devarim, and it's like God gives us three things. And one of the things it says is the Torah. Another one I believe is doing good deeds for other people.
Every household or synagogue has a tzedakah box that you put your money into, and all the money that's in the tzedakah box goes to charity.
In Hebrew, Seder, it means order. So there's several holidays where you do a Seder. And basically what it is you have a dinner and everything is done in a set order.
They have a Seder plate. There are bitter herbs, and there's a lamb shank, sli, and an egg, haroset. Instead of having bread, we have matzah, which is unleavened bread. It's like a cracker. I have a real sense of community. Everywhere I go, if I meet another Jew, I know I can talk to them and feel comfortable.
It's my entire identity. I mean, my whole family's Jewish. Everything that's been passed down, all the traditions that I follow have been kept by my family for probably hundreds of years, and it's just the way I'm connected to my ancestors. I mean, for people who've been doing this stuff for thousands of years, and I think it's awesome continuing it because it's who I am.
Because it's so powerful when you're with a group of people, even if it's only 5 people, and you're all singing the same prayers and saying the same thing and just thanking God.
So right now it's more about community than like traditions and generations passed down, but I'm sure sometime soon, I mean, I can't imagine my life without Shabbat dinner or without a Seder or without reading from the Torah.
"2,000 years ago, a Jewish baby was born who many believed was the actual son of their one God. He was named Yeshua, or Jesus. Later he was known as Christ, from the Greek word Christos, meaning Savior or Messiah. Today, Christians are Catholic, Orthodox, or Protestant. Half of the world's Christians are Catholic.
During this last year of spiritual preparation, we have attempted to build a closer relationship with God by praying, by serving others, and by strengthening our relationships. We've become more aware of what it means to follow in Christ's footsteps.
When we were baptized, it was like our parents saying that they would like raise us to be Catholics and teach us about the religion, and now it's like our way of saying we accept it.
We're learning about whether or not we want to take up the role in following Christ and whether this is what we want to be and what we want to do. Learning more about what you can do with your faith and how you can help others.
When you enter Mass, you'd start the ceremony by doing the sign of the cross, and then you end it by doing the sign of the cross.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen.
I think it's just whenever you're entering a holy place or thinking of something holy or doing or saying a prayer, you acknowledge that you're going into the presence of God.
The miracle of the Eucharist is Jesus gave his body and blood to the disciples to eat and drink. The bread and wine, the priest makes it into Jesus' body and blood.
In the 16th century, Martin Luther, a Catholic monk in Germany, objected to some of the practices of the Catholic Church. His protest led to the eventual formation of hundreds of new Christian denominations around the world. They are collectively known as Protestants. Each group has significant differences, but they are all Christian. In the United States, the largest Protestant group is Baptist.
Everyone stands to praise, and it's a good atmosphere.
It's like the way they want to express themselves. It's like an act of worship. Like if you want to raise your hands, you don't have to. They just feel led, I guess. So they want to feel like they're closer to God.
A Christian is a person that believes that Jesus gave up his life for them on the cross.
When you become a Christian, you feel like if you accept them in the church, they tell you, do you want to get baptized? You say yes.
I felt something and I decided I wanted to do it for myself, not because they're telling me to do it, because I wanted to do it.
You get dunked underneath all the way, but it almost feels like you're going to fall, but it's like someone catches you, even though you don't think they're going to catch you, and they put you back up.
We believe in going all the way under the water and coming back up as a new person like Jesus was baptized.
Islam reveres the prophets Abraham, Moses, Noah, Jesus, and Muhammad, who believed he was the final messenger of their God. Muhammad, whose name means the illustrious in Arabic, was the first Muslim. The word Islam means submission to God, the same God of the Christians and Jews.
Well, Islam comes from the root salama, which salam also comes from the root word salama. And salama means like around peace and like peace be upon you.
We learn to read the Quran, we learn to understand it.
It's such a personal religion, like with your relationship with God. And there's very much room for leniency. I mean, Islam says be modest. Now, whether or not you choose to wear a scarf as a girl or not, it's not a set rule. It's not as if you don't wear a scarf, you're not a good Muslim. It's very much how far you decide to take it.
It's not just the girls that have to be modest. I mean, we also have to show amount of respect to ourselves and to everybody else around us.
On Fridays, we go to the mosque around like 12, and we have what's called Jummah prayer. It's around 12 to 1.
Like praying is mandatory. So it's become a part of our lifestyle, and we just do it, you know. And we like doing it.
On Fridays, you don't have to come to the mosque to pray. Like, I'm at school. So when I come home, you can still do your prayer. It doesn't have to be straight at 12.
Most of us were born into it, but usually a person that wants to become a Muslim, they have to say the Shahada. It's Ashhadu anna ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, and that means there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of God.
For boys, there's 15, and that's when they have to mandatory start praying. And for girls, it's 9, and that's when they have to mandatory start wearing, and if they choose, wear the scarf, the long sleeves.
And that's when you start feeling like you have to accept your responsibility as a Muslim and feel like whatever good and bad deeds you do, you're responsible for it.
Basically, there's 5 pillars. The first is Shahada, which is believing in God, your confession of your belief. The second is Salat, which is 5 prayers a day. The third is fasting during the month of Ramadan. Fourth is Zakat, which is when you give to the needy every year. And the last one is Hajj, which means that once in your lifetime you promise to take a trip to Mecca to do the pilgrimage.
Everybody around you basically is either reading the Quran, reciting our holy book, or praying and prostrating to God.
And it's like a spiritual cleansing. You go there, be one with God, like clear yourself from like all sins you've ever done, you know.
Yeah, it's very soothing. It's very peaceful. After the month of Ramadan, which is the month where we fast, there's like the day after is a holiday called Eid al-Fitr. On the morning of that day, you go into your mosque, or if you can't reach a mosque at your home, and you do a prayer that's usually longer than your normal prayers, and that's usually with an imam that like follows you through it. And then you exchange gifts, and you have a big feast, and like you just have fun.
About 2,500 years ago, a Hindu prince in India left his life of luxury to seek wisdom through poverty and meditation. His name was Siddhartha Gautama, and he became known as the Buddha, Sanskrit for the Enlightened One. Buddhism is a religion, a discipline, a practice. There are hundreds of millions of Buddhists around the world, and there are different kinds of Buddhism. Each may differ in the details, but they all believe in meditation.
Buddhism is based on the Buddha's teachings, and the Buddha said that a lot of humans in general, we're coming into contact with suffering a lot, and there's different types of suffering in the world, and we're really attached to it. And when we can free ourselves from the suffering, then we're going to be awakened from that suffering. And I guess part of that suffering, I suppose, is kind of not being able to appreciate life how it is right now, and really fully soaking up what there is right in front of you. Because if your mind is wandering off to the past or the future, then you're not really taking it in right now and able to process it that way. So I would say that meditation is about really understanding what's happening right now and being able to process that.
I personally meditate for 30 minutes every morning. Other people have different meditation habits. Some do it in front of an altar.
Mindfulness is being present and being aware.
Mindfulness is, it's having your head open. It's being aware.
Living in the present. Being aware of other people's feelings.
Karma, to pretty much all Buddhists, it's the cycle, in a sense. It's even, it makes everything even.
The Buddhists believe that we have past lives and future lives. I believe that karma is the influence of our past decisions.
Basically, it's kind of like the golden rule, basically. If you do good things in general, generally good things are going to come back to you. And if you do bad things might happen to you.
The everyday person's definition of karma is what goes around comes around.
Namaste is generally accompanied by the namaste hand symbol and a bow.
You hold the 3 jewels inside your hand when you bow. You're holding the 3 jewels.
What that is I bow to the inner Buddha in you, the good part of you. My heart bows to your heart.
Namaste. Namaste.
For as long as there have been believers in a supreme power, there have been people who say there's no such thing. Atheism is the name of that belief. In the U.S., about 2 million people have declared themselves atheists, although the actual number is thought to be much greater. As there is no dogma or set of rules to follow, atheists choose their own times and own reasons for coming together. We visited with some students who belong to a club named Students for Non-Religious Ethos, or SANE. Here are their views in their own words.
I started labeling myself as an agnostic just so not to offend people.
I guess I started saying agnostic, 10, 11, 12 or something.
It's something I've been thinking about since I was actually around 13 or 14.
I guess I just, at some point, decided that there was this word atheism and it fit me.
Definitely atheist now. My dad tells all of our relatives, he's sort of proud. It's weird.
It seems like people are more accepting now.
I think there are probably more people in the world who just are kind of atheists, but they don't really see the point of talking about it, or it doesn't really enter into their life much.
I think it's important to keep in mind that you can always learn something new and interesting from a discussion with anybody, whether that person is, regardless of their religious or political affiliation. You can always pick up something that you didn't know before and see a viewpoint that maybe you just weren't able to formulate yourself and weren't able to see.
I had to develop a strong set of beliefs because I got questioned so much going through school. If this is your only shot, you've got to make the best of it, and so you have to go out of your way to be kind to other people.
Everybody knows what it means to to be a good person.
They're good because they want to be good and because they like to help people and they care about other people. And that's the same whether you have any religion or no religion.
You're doing it for yourself.
We don't need sort of a map to guide this through our lives. We just live it.
There's a difference between there being a predetermined meaning and being able to make your life meaningful, and those are two entirely different things.
I think that people find their meaning through religion and some people don't.
Whether or not to follow a religion is a personal choice. Respecting the choices of others is tolerance. Now, tolerance is a funny word. It can mean just putting up with something. But when we're talking about getting along with other people, tolerance means making the effort to learn about them and their beliefs so we can better understand them.
When I hear tolerance, I think of knowledge and being able to accept that other people believe other things or are different and that it's okay.
We're friends, but every time we talk about anything that's to do with religion, it's like we're going head on head with because he just bombarded me with questions. I'm like, okay.
You get a lot of harsh questions towards you, and you just have to learn to cope with it.
I think it's about respect. You can't judge a whole group of people based on one person that you know.
And there are going to be people that might put you down or something like that because you're Christian, but there's going to be a lot of people that respect you too, because they're going to see how you react or how you act, and they're going to respect that.
Because we shouldn't only tolerate other religions and other cultures, we should understand them and respect them for it. So that's why it's very important that we aren't ignorant about how other people's are.
It's interesting to learn about other people, what their backgrounds are, what they believe, what their cultural customs are. Here are some tips to help you learn more about the people you may already know, as well as the new people you meet. When you see an opportunity to ask a question about a person's beliefs or background, take a chance. Use the moment to learn something new. How you ask your questions is as important as what you ask. Facial expressions, posture, gestures, tone of voice, and general attitudes say a lot. Showing respect goes a long way. And when you're asked, welcome the interest they're showing in your beliefs. Your answer can give them good information, and you have their attention. How you listen is important too. Make eye contact. Give your full attention. Nod to show you're listening. Paraphrase or say back what you're hearing to check for understanding. And observing quietly is also important. It's said that 90% of life is just showing up. Attend a meeting, visit a house of worship, listen to a discussion. Stay open and alert. You'll learn a lot. You've seen a small sampling of the many belief systems out there. Now it's up to you. Follow your beliefs and learn from others. Discover the similarities as well as the differences. We're all in this together, and we all benefit from making the effort to learn about each other. Human respect, human dignity, human honor are universal, and it begins with us. The good you do does come back to you.
Which is the most important to have? Respect, love, or hope?
Respect, love, or hope?
Respect. Because if someone doesn't respect you, they can't love you, and if you don't have any love, then you can't really have much hope. So it kind of goes down that order.
Love.
Respect.
Don't have to love someone to respect them, but respect is always important in dealing with any situation.